Tell me the story of how the shutdown ended. If you were writing a Wikipedia entry or a history book, we had the longest shutdown in American history. How and why did it end, in your view?
43 days. How and why? I think 8 Democrats in the Senate suddenly decided they had had enough of the nonsense, and they were going to put the American people ahead of Chuck Schumer's politics. Not sure why they stuck with him for 43 days, Mark, but at the very end, I mean, somebody asked me about these polls that are all over the place. You know, you like one poll, you'll hate the next one. I don't look at polls when you try to figure out who won the shutdown, because nobody wins in a shutdown. The American people are the ones that feel it the most. And, you know, it was probably the last 2 weeks. You started this interview saying an eventful 2 weeks. It was 43 days, but about 2 weeks ago, you had air traffic controllers not get paid. Then the next day, more federal employees. The next day after that, more. The Saturday after that, 42 million low-income Americans faced the prospect of losing their SNAP benefits, their nutrition supplement. The Women, Infant, and Children program that people rely on was interrupted. The Head Start program, and the list goes on and on. I think at that point, they were starting to actually hear from their constituents about what are you doing and why. And again, thank goodness for those 8 Democrats finally growing the spine to do the reasonable thing and reopen the government. I was frankly stunned by last night. I was stunned we only had 6 of our Democrat colleagues in the House vote with us, because I'm going to tell you, those districts, I understand that Hakeem was less than relevant through this whole process. And I understand that he has his own leadership challenges. But to stick with him last night, you're going to have to answer for that in the future. The good news is, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican today, unless you are the absolute fringe, Mark, I think most of the people here are relieved and pleased that we are finally open, and we're going to start doing business again.
You never try to take the politics out of politics or the polarization out of our current politics, because that's a fool's errand. But one thing that Democrats did do, and the ones who think they won the shutdown fight say this, is healthcare is now front and center. The conference is talking about healthcare. The White House is talking about healthcare. So I want to try to talk about it, really about in the interests of people in Minnesota and for the country. Let's see if we can talk about it, not about the politics of it. When you talk to your constituents, what are their 3 top complaints about their personal health care, their personal health insurance? Number 1, 2, and 3.
Health insurance is too expensive, and we're restricted on choices of who we're going to see and when we're going to see them. Look.
Wait, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. That's 2. Too expensive, meaning premiums are too high, deductibles are too high, copays are too high, right? All 3 of those. And then their ability to access certain providers is limited. What's the 3rd besides those?
Well, I don't know. I mean, healthcare is a mess, Mark.
Yeah.
And what I would say to you is this: good for the Democrats. They're the ones who broke it. This idea that they won the shutdown because everybody's talking about healthcare, everybody was going to be talking about healthcare anyway. Did anybody bother to think about the fact that these guys already knew that this cliff was coming? That they created the Affordable Care Act with only Democrat votes, and that broke the healthcare system. This is the reason that costs are up almost 100% since the Unaffordable Care Act was made law in this country. They're the ones who broke it. The only people that are going to be able to fix it are Donald Trump and Republicans. And what were they doing the last 43 days? Yeah, they'd bring up healthcare, but then they'd bring up Trump, and then they'd bring up democracy, and then they talk about the economy. They have no idea what they stand for other than they hate Donald Trump. And they know that when it comes to this healthcare law, it's the Unaffordable Care Act that has made it unaffordable for Americans. And the only way you're going to fix it is by reforming the actual law. And Trump has already started going after pharmaceutical prices. Republicans and Democrats, I will give some of the more centrist Democrats, have had ideas for years of increasing HSA contributions, allowing people to keep more of their money and make more of their decisions, putting competition back into the marketplace with more transparency and more choice. this discussion has been long overdue. This idea that it was about these enhanced COVID era insurance premium tax credits, Mark? Really? The average health insurance premiums going up about 30% this year, okay?
Thanks.
If you extend those any period of time, again, the temporary COVID enhanced tax credits that premium subsidy tax credits that the Democrats created during COVID to expire at the end of this year, it would only address about 5% of that increase.
Right.
The problem is the healthcare marketplace.
Right. So totally right. Couldn't agree with you more. What they were focusing on, not for them unimportant, but a tiny piece of the system, and not a piece of the system that everybody would support. So what's Tom Emmer's vision? You rattled off some of the broad principles. What's your vision of how this will go? Not the policy side now, but would you want the president or expect the president to announce in the State of the Union a health care bill? Is there going to be a single Republican reform plan? How's it going to go?
I know you'd love to have me be the chair of the Energy and Commerce Committee and be able to give you line and verse. This is what the Republican plan is. I'm not going to give that to you. I'm telling you that we had to open the government, which we just did last night, after a foolish, unnecessary, and very damaging shutdown caused by Chuck Schumer and Democrats. We've now got the government open. Now is the time to talk about real solutions to the very real challenges that Americans are facing trying to pay for their health care.
I'm not asking you for the plan today because I know you're getting it, but are you trying to formulate something where there be a Trump, Emmer, Thune plan, that one big Republican reform plan, or that's not where you're headed?
Oh, no, I think Republicans and Democrats alike are going to be working on the bigger problem. And yes, you can talk to our doctors caucus. There are ideas that have been out there, pooling options, many different things that now they're going to have to sit down and put this together. What's the best way? By the way, if this was really about healthcare, do you realize that there was a premium reducing, and I won't get into the weeds on it, but a premium reducing provision in the reconciliation bill that Senate Democrats fought to take out.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff, to them, it's not about healthcare. It's just about the politics. There are centrist Democrats, though, that have worked with Republicans in the past. And I believe there's a whole bunch of these ideas about creating more choice by creating more transparency and allowing a competitive marketplace to grow again, instead of just fattening up these health insurers that are making all the money while Americans are struggling to get the health care that they need and they deserve.
You ever notice those creepy ads that pop up on your phone and seem to know exactly where you've been, what you've bought, even maybe what you've been talking about? You've probably asked yourself, is my phone monitoring me? The truth is, your smartphone is constantly collecting and leaking data without your knowledge and without your consent. Every day, your phone builds a detailed profile of your life, your location, your habits, your interests, even the people you communicate with. And that information is funneled into an invisible marketplace where it's tracked, analyzed, and sold off to the highest bidder. It's not just something that's annoying, it's invasive. And it's happening all the time. But now there's a new solution, the Up Phone by Unplugged, because it's very different. It's designed to protect your privacy from the ground up. No hidden trackers, no data mining, just a secure, streamlined smartphone experience that puts you back in control. Whether you're texting, browsing, or using apps, the Up Phone ensures your personal information stays personal. It's the phone for people who are done being watched. Ready to take back your digital privacy? Visit unplug.com/Mark and get $25 off a phone case with the purchase of a phone. Again, go to unplug.com/Mark, because your life, your data, it should be yours, not theirs. Plus, from Election Day through Veterans Day, Unplugged is honoring those who serve. All veterans and active duty military get $175 off any Up Phone, and they're donating $50 from each purchase to support veterans charity Valor Mission Project. Learn more and order your Up Phone today at unplug.com/Mark. Get this today.